that our experiences to a large extent affects a lot of things. Now, we want to look at it in relations to how we relate to people, how we treat people. Consciously or unconsciously, when a person has gone through negative experiences or is even in the process of those negative experiences, a lot of things could be expected. That person is someone who can be easily irritated by the actions of others, could be withdrawn, could be someone who doesn't talk much, could even become a little bit sarcastic, someone who is bold enough to air their view, and for some others, they become very introverted and withdrawn. So experiences, whether positive or negative, has a way of affecting our relationship with people. These experiences have a way of affecting the way we relate with other people, whether you agree to it or not. Now, let's use an illustration of a child who has gone through some kind of abuse, whether emotional abuse or physical abuse or any other kind of abuse while growing up. Maybe in the house of an aunt, an uncle, and maybe with words, with actions, that child has been really, really abused. What do you think would be the reaction of that child to anybody trying to come close to him or her? You find out that the child becomes very protective of himself or herself because he wouldn't want what is happening at home to repeat itself outside. In most cases, that child could actually become very withdrawn and will only speak after much effort and courage, mustered to speak. It makes that child feel so inferior to others because those who have actually or who constantly abuse him or her will always want to remind them that they are inferior. So it has a way of affecting the pattern of thinking, pattern of behavior, and in the same vein affects the way they relate with others. If you watch, now it doesn't mean that everyone who's quiet, gentle, withdrawn is someone who has been abused. Don't misunderstand me here. The thing is, most times when you see people who are abnormally quiet, withdrawn, isolated, there could be underlying what factors attached to such behavior. Like I said, in most cases, you find out that some of them who are bold enough and fearless, they could become very sarcastic. There's a way you talk to them and they respond to you with so much sarcasm that you want to like, why is this person acting like this? That's because most of them are hurting. So the only way they can actually ease the pain of the heart is just to use that avenue to actually what? Vent out the pain. And then for the one who has had positive experiences, they're filled with so much love, so much grace. They have so much to give. They make people around them feel loved. And it doesn't mean also that everyone who has had good experiences always relates with people in a good way. Some people abuse it. There's some persons whom God has placed in places where they have been loved, so passionately taken care of, but yet they're yet to understand and discover who they truly are. So they're fighting with their identity and therefore feel that anyone who comes close to them or tries to do one thing or the other around them is a threat and should be treated as such. So most times, mentalities that people have or carry most times are linked with their experiences. And that's why, if you remember what we said in the previous episodes, that if you have gone through any of these unpleasant experiences, it is best to channel it back to the Holy Spirit, the one who reads the mind of the Father. He knows what the Father actually wants worked out in you and in me. And so the best way is to hand over that experience to Him. Some experiences are so bitter that, oh my God, sometimes people literally feel like they want to vent their anger, their frustration, their vengeance on those who have caused them so much pain. But vengeance belongs to God. By the time we begin to step into their shoes, God steps out and it becomes a very messy thing. But when we allow God to step in, He brings in peace, calmness, restores joy to our hearts. And before you know it, you want to easily forgive those who are actually offended and relate to them on a very platonic level. So experiences has a way of affecting us as individuals. And that's why it's not good to sweep certain experiences under the carpet. If something really hurt you, please look for someone to talk to. If you cannot talk at the moment, look for a way to express it. You could write it down, you could record it somewhere, you could just do something. Now, the more you're letting it out, the more you are getting eased of that pain. Because when it's being bottled in, it causes so much anguish that when given any little opportunity, if someone tries to poke a bit around that area, that person will become what? The scapegoat who would bear the brunt of all of the pain and the affliction and the unpleasantness of many years. But if there's an avenue through which one lets out such pain, either by writing it out in a journal or recording it using a recorder or whatever medium, or actually speaking to someone, and you find out that when you have spoken out your heart about that matter, there's a relief that comes. You feel better. It's like you just took a deep breath of fresh air. So that's why when situations like this are handed over to the Holy Spirit, He gives you the way out. He could either ask you to talk to someone who is in a better position to help you, or if that person is so far away and there's no way to reach, it's okay, send a message or call or write or do something. He will always give you a way out. And when you do that, you find out that it will help you and make you become what? Released and relieved. So that's why experiences are important. We must not take them for granted, but at the same time, we must not allow them to ruin what God has in store for us. This is for me who is speaking and for you who is listening. Every day we go through experiences. Every day we add to the bank of our experiences. But what we do with them largely depends on us and goes a long way to affect how we relate with people and who we turn out to become. So the truth is, if we choose to become better persons, then we hand it over, especially for negative experiences, to the one who knows how to mold unpleasant situations into beautiful pictures. And then if they're pleasant ones, we still hand them over to Him so He can sustain the beauty in our lives. Thank you so much for being here. It's been wonderful. So please do well to visit every of our other episodes that you have not been able to. And please comment, like, share, send the word around, tell a friend, and let your friend tell another friend.